Hey everybody, Michael here, coming to you with race number 2 in mini-series number 2 in the 2025 Driveway Series here in Austin, Texas. So this is going to be the men's Cat 2-3 race on April 24th, 2025. We're riding Speedway Loop today. Speedway is a nice, quick, fast, 1 mile, big circle basically. I think we call it the Sprinters course. Finishes on a nice, wide open flat piece of tarmac. So definitely a day for the sprinters. Also a day to try to stay dry. You can see the track is wet. 15 minutes before go time, it rained on us for like 5 minutes. Came out of nowhere, caught me by surprise anyway. I was a little bummed. I was wearing a brand new race white jersey, which promptly got soaked and covered in mud. Probably ruined my race whites there. If I had realized it was going to rain, I would have worn the blues today, but that's okay. That was the only 5 minutes of rain of the day. After that, it stayed dry, and I think you're actually going to see the track dry out before the end of our race here. But as we get started, this is a 45-minute crit race. I think there were maybe 40-ish people in the race. All the Austin teams represented here. We've got Function right in front of me, Violet Crown up there, some riders from Texas A&M, Super Squatters here, Driveway Devo is here, Night Owls, of course, right in front of me up there, Abel's Racing. In the pink jersey, just a couple riders in front of me there up on the left, you can see in the pink jersey is number 290, and that's Carson Baker. He won last week's race. I wasn't there, but the first race in the mini-series was taken by Carson. He is riding for Team EF Onto, which is the junior squad for the World Tour Team EF Education Easy Post. So really cool to have an elite junior here in the race with us, and he won last week. So let's see what he does today. Finishing lap 1, we're coming up on the hill. The hill, it hits like 12 or 14%. I think it's short, but just steep enough to provide a launch pad that would become basically the launching ground for every attack every time we come around. So we're going to see a couple of those go. It was a fun, fast race. I think we averaged over 27 miles an hour for the race today. There's going to be a series of rolling attacks. A lot of people trying to come, we're trying to create breakaways. Other teams working to pull them back. It's not until pretty late in the race that we're going to see the winning move finally go and stick it. I'm going to come in and out on the video as there's kind of things to talk about throughout the race, and I'll be back for the finish. But right now, I am going to disappear for a couple minutes and just kind of let the video run. So enjoy it, everybody. So with 21.4 kilometers to go here, you can see we've got, looks like 5 riders off the front. And a little bit of a gap opening up. Just letting the video catch up here. And it looks like there's a bit of a moment of disorganization in the chase group. And so it's going to be a bit of a threatening moment. I think what's going on is that we've got a night owl up the road there, and then 2 other night owls who are at the front kind of disrupted the chase for a minute. So you can see that a big gap has opened up. That looks like 75 meters or more. And from Team Driveway Devo, it's number 15, Canton Nichols, who's come to the front to lead a big chase effort here. You can see I was over like 550 watts trying to get back up to Canton. I just passed him right there on the left. I'm going to try to keep the momentum going as we come through the turn here. So I'm pulling for a minute as we're coming through the turn, trying to keep that lead group. I think it's 4 riders right now. There they are, maybe 3 riders. Trying to keep them in sight. I'm going to give the elbow bump, and somebody is going to come past me on the right side here as we continue the chase. Looks like that's a Super Squadra rider, followed by Night Owls. There's Canton on the right there. And with about 20 kilometers to go, we're gonna make the catch and neutralize this group of 3 that was up the road. So on the left-hand side, you can see there was a big acceleration from Super Squadra with Carson in a pink jersey right on his wheel. And I was wrong about those 2 riders getting caught at 20K. We're now down to 18.5, and 2 riders are still off the front, so kudos to them. They stayed off the front for a long time. Looks like Super Squadra decided to finally try to run them down. It's led to a big acceleration in the field here. You can see at least 20 riders or so in front of me. And they still haven't caught the one rider who's still off the front. I'll try to catch his bib number if I can as we've just come under the banner. Again, 18 kilometers to go, and we're coming up the hill, and it's a Night Owl who's off the front. I find that the biggest acceleration comes not on the hill, but after the hill, as the line is getting stretched out. Pretty consistently going over 800 watts just to try to keep up with the pace line as they accelerate past the hill and into the downhill here, picking up speed. over 33, 34 miles an hour on the downhill. So the pace line is pretty stretched out. We're moving fast, 39. I saw 39 miles an hour right there. I'm doing 500 watts, and I am absolutely like in the draft. I've got 12 people in front of me, and I'm still doing over 400 watts right now just to hold my place in the pace line. So we were definitely cooking right now. So there we've got Carson, David Wild from Violet Crown. I think that was Sam Manzanares from Night Owl. Several of the team principals here. I think I've got an Ables rider up in front of me. Making a big acceleration, trying to snap the line, trying to find that break. They would keep it going for a while here. Pace line's moving pretty quick. But ultimately, I don't think anybody was able to make a move stick here. You might have just caught me on the audio there saying to the rider that I was passing, these guys are blocking. We had two riders from Violet Crown on the front there. I think strategically slowing down the pace a little bit. They've got at least one rider, I think David Wild, up here in this lead group of four that was trying to get away. And so kind of recognizing what was going on there, I came around and put in a little bit of a pull, and then I've been joined by 205 in front of me. From Night Owls here is Juan Ortiz, and then there's 290 again, Carson Baker, and the three of us working together have caught up to this group of five that had a couple strong riders in it. So we've now come together again with 10.6 kilometers remaining in the race, and I think it's right now actually that you're going to see a big move going on the left-hand side right there. I believe that's Ben Soder from Night Owls, and he's taken the opportunity to just take a flyer off the left-hand side there, and you can see he's getting some really clean separation. This would be a move that was pretty threatening, and Ben is going to stay off the front for a while here. Spoiler, he does eventually get caught, but I think he's off the front for almost 2 full laps, and it plays a big role in kind of elevating the pace of the race when we come under 3 to go. A really nice move and big effort there from Ben. And we're going to see him a couple times as we come up the hill. We're going to see him 50 or so meters in front of us up the hill. Always in view or just in view, but really, really difficult to make the catch. So we're going to be chasing Ben for a while right now. So we're under 10K to go. We heard Carl announcing a preem lap on this lap. Appreciate all the preems, Carl. A little bit of a reset moment. Teams are recomposing themselves. Looks like Driveway Devo getting organized, Violet Crown getting organized here. 242 right in front of me. Spoiler, that's going to be your eventual race winner, Sam Mezzanara is here. So his teammate Ben is up the road, so he's not going to put in any big pulls on the front. But he's keeping good position, which is going to pay off when we come down to the wire here. Nice acceleration there from David. Cooper quickly on his wheel. I think that's Abel's Racing coming through, giving the hand signal to keep the rotations going and keep up the chase. So definitely a recognition, I think, that Ben was a threat to stay away for the rest of the race, which is incredible for more than 10 kilometers. But I'm second wheel right now at 350 watts. We're definitely deliberately trying to chase down the two riders now who are actually off the front up the road. Sorry, it's three. So we've got Ben is leading the race. We've got a chase group of two in front of me, and here we see the peloton catching up to the chase group, but we've still got Ben up the road in front of us, just visible there at the edge of my camera view. I heard somebody yelling there, you got to pass him. Sam was on the front again. That's a night owl chasing a night owl, which means he's not really chasing. So a little bit of blocking going on there. The rotations are starting again. I'm on the front at the moment as we're trying to keep the momentum going in the pack and in the peloton to chase down Ben. As we come under the banner here, I think this is going to be, is this 2 laps to go? Oh no, sorry, 4 laps to go. We got 4 laps to go right now in the race. So 3 laps to go. I think fatigue is starting to set in a little bit as the line is stretching more and more every time we come over the hill. You can see I'm reasonably close to the front there, but I still wind up with a 30-ish meter gap that I need to close to make sure I don't get dropped by these guys up front. So fatigue definitely starting to set in a little bit. Oh, we've just made the catch on Ben, who was off the front for I think nearly 6 kilometers. So a nice attack and a big off the front effort there from Ben from Night Owls. Passing me on the right here with the pink EF gloves, we can see Carson's here. I think I'm riding on Cooper's wheel right now, number 61. The race is reforming a little bit. And it's actually pretty soon that we're going to see the winning move of the race. So as we come into the turn, it's actually going to happen as we exit the turn. That rider just right up in front of me here, number 100, is going to drift over to the left. The pace line goes right, and he stays left and starts to launch off the front. It's a move that I really like. It's smart. We're all on the wrong side of the road, so he is immediately able to get a lot of separation, and it's going to be hard for us to come across. But the move is going to draw out Sam Manzanares from Night Owl. Wow, look at that acceleration. So you just saw Sam launch. He's number 242. A lot of people immediately recognize the threat, and they've stood up to sprint and try to get across, but nobody does. and Sam is going to stay clear away. From 3,500 meters out, he would not be caught again. It's close right now. It's only 20 meters or so, and I think there's going to be one or two more moments where we pull it back a little bit and get close, but we never quite make the catch. And so that is an awesome and an impressive winning move from Sam Manzanares there. It's going to be an off the front solo win from about 3,500 meters out. Chasing right now on the front, Driveway Devo. I can't quite see the number. We've got Crankbox represented up here. David Wild is here from Violet Crown, and Cooper Bridges is here. I'm here. You could see for a moment there, I think there was a loss of momentum as some people were looking around. I think the problem we ran into was that a lot of the team principals were here, and they were looking for help. They were looking for help from their teammates to come up and take up the chase and try to quickly, bring it back to Sam. Number 17 here from Driveway Devo, that's Patrick Hallett. He's going to make a heroic effort, but we're not very quick to react. We didn't quite get on Pat's wheel fast enough there. He's a little bit out in no man's land, but he's trying to encourage us to come across and take up this chase to go run down Sam. We're over 30 miles an hour here on the back stretch. The pace is definitely cooking. So I think it's not for lack of trying that the group is trying to reel back in the solo breakaway rider. You can still see him tantalizingly close. He's in view, although I think it's about a 100-meter gap. And we've slowed down a little bit. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity to make a move on the inside, and I did. This is basically a positioning move on my part. We've just started the final lap. I didn't want to lose any position or have to make a big, chase on the far side of the hill in case it got strung out on the hill. So my little move here, riding up to the front of the pack, is mostly about trying to make sure that I'm going to have good position when the pace line really gets going hard. As we're now under 1,200 meters to go in the race and about 3/4 of a mile remaining. At this point, we're going to see Violet Crown forming a nice little team lead-out train here. I have the wheel for a minute behind Cameron Swino. You can see David Wild coming up on my right, and I'm actually going to leave space. I think you can hear me telling David right there to take the wheel. My thinking basically was that I didn't want to disrupt Violet's lead out, but I'd like to take advantage of it. So if I can get on David's wheel, as I think that they're leading out for David, that could be great for me. But I do a bad job of holding the wheel. You can see I've just kind of given the wheel up here to a rider from Driveway Devo, and then there's going to be another rider who comes up right between us and kind of pushes me out to the left. And so although I probably, started the back stretch here, or the final approach to the sprint in decent position, I'm quickly kind of losing it. The group goes from a long way out. It was 500 meters out, basically, when this sprint got started. I kept it up for a few seconds, and then recognizing that I'm not a sprinter, you can kind of see that I've dropped to the back here, and I'm starting to coast my way in. The race would ultimately, well, the race was taken in the solo, win from Sam with his breakaway effort, which is really impressive. In second place, we're going to have Jesus Vega from Abels Racing, winning the pack sprint, and then just behind him in third place, rounding out the podium, was Canton Nichols from Driveway Development Team. Really great race. Sorry that we ran out of video there. A lot of fun to take part of it. Wish I could have been a little bit more, powerful in the sprint there, but good time racing with everybody.